How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the channel. Ever since Christian Bale was announced to be in talks with Marvel Studios about playing a role in Thor Love and Thunder, the internet has been freaking out trying to figure out just who is he going to play. Now, it was pretty obvious who the fans wanted him to play, as the night that report was announced, Beta Ray Bill started trending. Well, as it turns out, we may be getting what we want in a number of different ways. We have a recent report that confirms character details about Christian Bale's upcoming character in Thor Love and Thunder. And not only does this report confirm that he could in fact be playing Beta Ray Bill, but it also suggests that Christian Bale could be playing Adam Warlock or the Silver Surfer. So I'll break down this report on the details of Christian Bale's upcoming character in Thor Love and Thunder, as well as talk about the chances of him possibly playing Adam Warlock or the Silver Surfer and how it makes perfect sense for them to debut in Thor Love and Thunder. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest MCU news, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or PS4. Today's report comes from the Illuminati.com. They've got a lot of credit recently, as they've been leaking many things relating to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and other franchises as well. And last night they reported that Christian Bale has in fact accepted a role of a particular character in Thor Love and Thunder, and they are signing the paperwork right now, although they stated that the paperwork is not yet complete. And although they weren't able to confirm the character that he's going to be playing, they were able to provide some details about this character. According to the Illuminati, they say that they have received concrete confirmation that the actor Christian Bale will be playing an intergalactic villain in Thor Love and Thunder. They got a glimpse at a Marvel Studios document that gave away some tidbits of information about the negotiations of Christian Bale to play the lead in Thor Love and Thunder. And according to what they saw, this so-called lead role is going to be for the main villain of the film. A villain that is confirmed to be an alien species who is described as being otherworldly. Now, everybody pretty much speculated that Christian Bale would be playing the villain of the movie, even if that villain was to be Beta Ray Bill, because after all, in the comics, when Thor and Beta Ray Bill first met, they had a fight to the death. And although this information doesn't confirm who Christian Bale is going to be playing, given the information that we've received and given the information that we know about Christian Bale, we can pretty much narrow it down to 5 characters he could possibly be playing in Thor Love and Thunder. The first character is, as I mentioned, and as everybody wants it to be, is Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill and Thor have a long history together in the comics. Now, you may know Beta Ray Bill as a very good friend of Thor, which he does eventually become, but when they first meet, they're not so much friends, and Beta Ray Bill is definitely a threat. In fact, it's actually revealed that Beta Ray Bill is worthy enough to lift Mjolnir. The two of them eventually end up back on Asgard, and Beta Ray Bill wants to keep Mjolnir for himself. Odin sends Beta Ray Bill and Thor away to fight to the death to see who gets to claim Mjolnir. Now, it's a pretty close fight, but Beta Ray Bill would ultimately go on to win, as Thor gets knocked out unconscious and is about to die, but Beta Ray Bill saves him. Beta Ray Bill then takes Thor back to Asgard, and Odin actually grants Beta Ray Bill Stormbreaker. He actually forges it for him, not like what we saw in Avengers Endgame. Thor Love and Thunder could go on to adapt the first meeting between Thor and Beta Ray Bill when they were enemies. After all, we already know that Jane Foster is going to be able to lift Mjolnir and that she's going to become Lady Thor. Well, Beta Ray Bill in the comics also becomes a different version of Thor, he himself being worthy enough to lift Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. So it's possible that we could see multiple hammer and axe wielding characters in Thor Love and Thunder if Christian Bale does indeed play Beta Ray Bill. But then there's somebody who's been rumored to be the villain of Thor Love and Thunder for quite some time now, so coming in at number 2 is Gorr the God Butcher. Gorr grew up on a nameless, barren planet, and when his mother, mate, and children died, he thought that gods could not exist because they would help him. And because of this thinking, he was exiled and outcasted by his tribe. When he eventually did learn that gods did in fact exist, but didn't help those in need such as his dying family, he vowed to kill them all. Hence his name, Gorr the God Butcher. And then, to make matters worse, he acquired the all-black Necro Sword. He acquired the all-black Necro Sword from Null after watching him fight a golden god and realizing that there is a way to kill gods. Gorr eventually goes to Earth, finds Thor, and he almost kills him, but Thor gets reinforcements. Gorr escapes, but he has his arm cut off, and he realizes that he's going to need help if he's going to kill gods. So he creates an army of shadow berserkers, and he starts to kill gods one by one. Thor eventually notices that the gods are going missing and goes to investigate, and after a very intense battle, one that involves time travel, he eventually kills Gorr. The all-black Necrosword is banished, but fun fact, Thor would later go on in the comics to use the sword to battle Galactus. It would certainly be very interesting to see Gorr the God Butcher in Thor Love and Thunder, however his character is kind of similar to Hela. And Taika Waititi even did say that he drew influence from Gorr the God Butcher for Hela and her powers. So even though Gorr is definitely a possibility, we probably won't see Gorr as we saw Hela in Thor Ragnarok, and they're kind of similar. But of course, there still are other characters, and coming in at number 3 is Mephisto. To be honest, Mephisto should have made his MCU debut a long time ago. Mephisto is a character that has existed for over 4 decades in the Marvel Comics universe, and he actually ties quite well into Thor Love and Thunder and into Phase 4. Mephisto is actually a classic villain of Thor, appearing in Thor number 180 through 181, Astonishing Tales number 8, and Thor number 204 through 205. And this report talks about otherworldly characters, and Mephisto is actually from a different realm. So it could be Mephisto that they are talking about, and not to mention he has some ties into the Wandavision series and to Doctor Doom. Cynthia Von Doom is reportedly going to appear in the Wandavision series, and we have further evidence of this as we've seen some leaked photos for the Wandavision series that show witches. And not to mention, it's been reported that the Wandavision series is going to visit Latveria, which is where Cynthia Von Doom is from. At one point in time in the comics, Cynthia uses magic to summon Mephisto. She makes a deal with him for the power to free her people and keep them safe. She would end up getting killed not too long after, and her soul went to Mephisto's realm where he tortured her. Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom, would soon go on to discover that his mother's soul was with Mephisto being tortured. And once he learned magic, he summoned him and offered to duel him for the chance to bring his mother's soul back. Mephisto agreed, but Dr. Doom could never defeat him. Now, it's been rumored that Dr. Doom is going to make an appearance in Black Panther 2 and in Ant-Man 3. The fact that Dr. Doom is going to appear, and the fact that Cynthia Von Doom is said to be in WandaVision, and the fact that Mephisto is a classic Thor villain and should have been introduced in the MCU a while ago, means that there is a very high chance that Mephisto could be the character that Christian Bale is going to play. But of course, there are 2 other major characters that everybody would love Christian Bale to play, and number 4 is Adam Warlock. Now, in the comics, Adam Warlock, or him, was first created on Earth. After rebelling against his creators, the first person that he comes in contact with and in conflict with is Thor, eventually causing Adam Warlock to leave Earth. Now, Adam Warlock is set up a little bit differently in the MCU as we saw in the post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. In the MCU, Adam Warlock will be created by the Sovereign, and he will be created for the sole purpose of destroying the Guardians of the Galaxy. Meaning when we see Adam for the very first time in the MCU, he's going to be evil, which would mean he could be the main villain of Thor Love and Thunder. And not to mention, right now, Thor is technically with the Guardians of the Galaxy. When we left him at the end of Avengers Endgame, he left with the Guardians. And wherever Thor is going, the Guardians are going to take him there. So if Adam Warlock is going to track down the Guardians, it could very well mean that he's going to make his MCU debut in Thor Love and Thunder. Adam Warlock was one of the most powerful characters ever created in the Marvel Comics universe, and a fan favorite. And since the MCU and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has already set up Adam Warlock to appear, and since he's had run-ins with Thor in the comics, and not to mention that Thor is currently with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Adam Warlock is a perfect candidate for Christian Bale to be playing in Thor Love and Thunder. And last but not least, a character that we would all love for Christian Bale to play in Thor Love and Thunder is the Silver Surfer. We know that Galactus is coming. There have been numerous reports stating that Galactus is the next Thanos. And honestly, it just makes sense. If you want to outdo Thanos, which Marvel has to do, you bring in Galactus. And now that Marvel finally has the rights to be able to use him in the MCU along with the Silver Surfer, it's only a matter of time until he enters the MCU. But not before his herald, the Silver Surfer, enters the MCU. And when the Silver Surfer first appears, he is most likely going to be the villain. Of course, he's going to be the herald of Galactus. He's going to be searching for worlds for Galactus to eat. And we know that the Silver Surfer is eventually going to come to Earth. And we know that Thor is eventually going to go back to Earth in Thor Love and Thunder because that's where Jane Foster is. And perhaps that's even why he recruits Jane Foster to be another version of Thor to help him fight the Silver Surfer. Thor is over 1,500 years old. He's been all throughout the galaxy and he's been to many different realms. There's no doubt that he's heard of Galactus. And there's no doubt that he knows that Galactus has heralds. So Thor, an avenger and protector of Earth and former king of Asgard, which currently resides in Earth, would obviously want to fight and stop the Silver Surfer from going back to Galactus to bring to Earth. Not to mention, it has been rumored, not confirmed, but rumored that the Silver Surfer is going to be making an appearance in Thor Love and Thunder. There have been talks that Keanu Reeves could play the Silver Surfer in Thor Love and Thunder, but now that Christian Bale is almost officially signed on, he could be the one that is taking on that role. So out of these 5, who would you like to see Christian Bale play in Thor Love and Thunder? Or do you think that it's a completely different character altogether? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe with notifications turned on to stay up to date on everything relating to the MCU, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. I'm picking a winner at 550,000 subscribers. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.